Hi guys, welcome to the class. Today we are moving on to a new chapter, Animal Kingdom. So last class you were learning about plants for many days, right? And some microorganisms also which are not visible to your eyes. But now we are moving into a very interesting chapter, the Animal Kingdom. But a little bit of terms to learn. Anyhow, it will be very interesting to cover the chapter Animal Kingdom. So in this Animal Kingdom, we are going to discuss about the diverse animals which are present in our earth, right? So animals, they are multicellular in nature, means they are made up of many cells, and they are heterotrophic in nature. Heterotrophic means what? They cannot make their own food. So they are multicellular and heterotrophic. And it is most diverse than the plant kingdom, because you can find innumerable number of like 1,000 millions of varieties of insects are itself available, which is very, very different from one another. Okay, so it is most diverse than the plant. You can find varieties are many present in case of animals. Okay, so for classifying these animals, I have to consider some criteria, isn't it? So I have to have some basis for classifications, for criteria for classification. So what are the criteria? The first criteria is level of organization. The second criteria is body symmetry. The third criteria is germ layer. Fourth one is coelom. Fifth one is metamerism, and the sixth one is notochord. One by one we will discuss. Okay. So what is the first one? Levels of organization. What do you mean by levels of organization? I will classify animals by seeing whether they are made up of cells, or the cells are combining to form tissues, or they are made up of different organs. Then I am having three levels of organization. So what are they? One is the cellular level, means the cell itself is acting as an organism. Then it is a cellular level of organization, right? So that is number one. Second is what? I will see whether it is a cell or a group of cells forming different tissues, performing different function. Then I will categorize them under what? Tissue level of organization. And if I am seeing that the tissues are combining to form some particular organs which are resulting in organ system, then we will classify them as organ or organ system level of organization. Okay. So that is regarding your levels of organization. So this organ system level of organization, when you are seeing, they have somewhat complex structures. So some animals, when you are seeing, the digestive system is of two types. What do you mean by two types of digestive system? Digestive system can be complete, or digestive system can be incomplete. So what do you mean by the term incomplete and complete? Incomplete means the digestive system is only having a single opening for the intake of food as well as the out food, to give out undigested food. There is only one opening. Then we call it as what? Incomplete digestive system. If the digestive system of an animal is complete, when will I call? If it is having two opening. One, like for us, one mouth through which the food is moving in, and through what it is moving out? Through anus it is moving out. So there are two openings. So then I call it as what? The complete digestive system. Now circulatory system is also of two types. One is open circulatory system, another one is closed circulatory system. What do you mean by open circulatory system? The heart, when it is pumping the blood is not moving into vessels like arteries and veins directly to the body fluid. It is just going to different parts of the body without pipes like arteries, veins are not present, closed capillaries are not present. Then I call it as what? Open circulatory system. Like in cockroaches, you find when the heart is pumping the blood is just diffusing into the body cavities. They are not transported with the help of proper channels like arteries, veins. Closed circulatory system, ours is closed circulatory system. When the heart is pumping blood, the blood is moving to the arteries and the blood is moving to the veins. So there is some closed channels through which the blood will flow. So then that type of circulatory system, we call it as what? Closed circulatory system, right? So levels of organization is clear. That was the first basis for classification. The second basis of classification is body symmetry. Body symmetry means how can I divide my body into two equal halves? Can I divide it? If I cannot divide it, then my body is having no symmetry. If I can divide it, I am having some symmetry. Okay, so I can, like for example, you see my symmetry. If I want to divide my body in two equal halves, how I will cut? I will cut like this, isn't it? So when I am cutting it like this, you can find all my parts are having equal this side as well as that side. This side one eye, this side one eyebrow will be there, this side one eye. Nose half will be here, half will be here, here mouth half will be here, like that. I can divide myself into two equal halves through one particular plane, isn't it? Then I am having symmetry. But there are some animals like amoeba. Amoeba, imagine this is the shape of an amoeba. If I cut like this, this and this may not be similar. Some shapes are like this. So now this, if I am cutting, may not be similar. I cannot get in two equal halves. Whatever thing you cut, I am not going to get it. So like sponges, snails, okay. So they cannot be divided into two equal halves in any plane. Then I call it as asymmetrical. What I call them? Asymmetrical, okay. If I can cut them into two equal halves, then I call it as what? Symmetrical, okay. This symmetrical is of two types. What are the two types? One is radial symmetry and another one is bilateral symmetry. What do you mean by radial? Radial means if you cut the organism from any part, okay. So if you are cutting it like this, or if you are cutting it like this, or you are cutting it like this, okay, or cutting like this, each and every way you cut, you get two equal halves. Like starfish, if you cut in any way, so this is, imagine this one is the starfish, okay. So if you are cutting it like this or you are cutting it like this, most probably the diagram is not that clear, that's why. Otherwise you get what? Radial. Radial means what? Two equal halves from any plane. If you are cutting, you get it into two equal halves. Then I call it as what? Radial symmetry. So mostly circular organisms, they have what? Radial symmetry. Bilateral symmetry, we are having what? Bilateral. What is bilateral? You can cut these animals into two equal halves through only one plane, isn't it? So this when you are saying this insect can be cut, okay, prawn can be cut into two equal halves only through which plane? One plane. Like this, if you want to cut, like this, if you want to cut, you can cut it into two equal halves. But can you cut it like this? You will get two equal halves? No. You cut it like this, you will get two equal halves? No. You have to cut it correctly in the center like this, then only you will be getting it two equal halves. That sort of symmetry we call it as what? Bilateral symmetry. So second is what? Body symmetry. I think it's clear. Next we are moving on to germ layer. Okay. So what is germ layer? So when we are formed, okay, actually it was a single cell, zygote. What do we call them? Zygote. This zygote divides and forms a mass of cells. We call it as morula. What do we call them? Morula. These morula, when you are seeing, they first, what they do is that they align themselves into layers. The outer layer we call it as ectoderm, the inner layer we call it as endoderm. And in case the middle layer is also present, formed later, mesoderm. What do we call them? Mesoderm. So what is the outer layer? Ectoderm. What is the middle layer? Mesoderm. What is the inner layer? Endoderm. If an organism is having, some organism have only two layers. From that two layers only all the organ system develops, organs develops. In some animals there are three layers. The animals which are having only two layers, what are the two layers? Ectoderm and endoderm. Then we call it as what? Diploblastic. What do we call them? Diploblastic. So what is diploblastic? You see here they are having only ectoderm, okay, and in between you cannot, that yellow region is clear, no cells are present, and you are having what? The endoderm, right? So only two layers are there. Diploblastic. Example, sponges, coelenterate are diploblastic. We will learn what is sponges, coelenterate. Triploblastic, if there is three germ layer. So in this you see three germ layers are there. Outer ectoderm, the orange yellow mesoderm, and the green, blackish green is what? The endoderm. So if three germ layers are present, then we call it as what? We call them as triploblastic. So two germ layer, this is the germ layer. So if there is two, 1 minute, let me reduce the size, that would be better. Okay, if there is two germ layer, this one and this one, then we call it as what? Ectoderm and endoderm, diploplastic. If there is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, endoderm, then we call it as what? We call it as triploplastic. Okay. So this is regarding germ layer. Animals are being divided into two types, diploplastic and triploplastic. Okay. So first I told you, first is zygote, thereafter you are having what? Morula like, blastula like stage, then you have gastrula. In that only the layers are formed, diploplastic, two germ layer, triploplastic, three lamella. Stages in the development of the embryo. Gastrula is one stage in the development of the embryo. In that only the dermal layers are formed. Okay, so what are the layers? Ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. The next we are moving on to coelom. What we are moving on to? Coelom. What do you mean by coelom? Coelom is body cavity. What is coelom? It is body cavity. Okay, so body cavity means what? This is, imagine this is the outer body wall, and in between the digestive tract inner side, okay, the last in part of my body, gut wall, we call it as what? The gut wall, digestive tract. Okay, in between these layers, when you are seeing, there is a cavity, and this cavity can be filled with a fluid, cannot be filled with a fluid. So this body cavity which is present, the space between the body wall, the outer wall of my body, as well as the gut wall, the inner wall, in between the cavity which is present, we call it as a body cavity. And the body cavity sometimes in some will be filled with a fluid. That fluid we call it as coelom. What do we call them? Coelom. Okay. So the coelom, based on that, there are three types of organism. What are they? One is acoelomate, second one is pseudocoelomate, and third one is what? Eucoelomate. What do you mean by acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and coelomate or eucoelomate? Okay. Acoelomate means the body cavity. So you can find outer ectoderm is present. The blue color is what? It is ectoderm. Thereafter mesoderm, red, and the yellow one is what? The endoderm. So when you are seeing in this acoelomate animal, the body cavity is the mesoderm. When you are seeing this mesoderm, the cavity which is present, they are made up of cells. There is no coelom, no body fluid is present. No fluid is present. They are made up of cells. There is not a cavity filled with fluid. No, it is all made up of cells. Then we call this one as what? Acoelomate, because they do not have fluid coelom. Okay. Pseudocoelomate. What do you mean by pseudocoelomate? You can find the blue one is the ectoderm. Okay. Thereafter red is the mesoderm. Just below the red you can find some spaces there. Thereafter that yellow one is what? The yellow one is the endoderm. In that space, in some spaces, not all throughout, okay, not all throughout, in some places you can find there is what? There is fluid filled. Okay, but it is not throughout. It's to some extent in some scattered places you can find they are somewhat fluid fill like. That's why we call it as what? We call them as pseudocoelomate, false coelom. They are having what? False coelom, not properly arranged. Okay, so they are the beginners. Thereafter you can find what? Coelomate or eucoelomate. Means what? There is ectoderm, there is mesoderm. In the mesoderm you can find a space, isn't it? Like CC letters you can find there, yes or no? So this one you can find one C this side and one C this side. So ulta C. So this place is getting filled with what? The coelom. Means they are having the body cavity filled with the coelomic fluid. So that type of organisms we call it as coelomate or eucoelomate. What do we call them? Eucoelomate or coelomate. So acoelomate, they do not have coelom. Pseudocoelomate, they have false coelom, and coelomate, they have coelom. What is coelom? It is a fluid. Where it is present? It is present in the body cavity. What is body cavity? The cavity which is present between the body wall, outer body wall, inner gut. Gut is what? The digestive tract, gut, inner side. Okay. So the gut wall. In between the cavity we call it as what? The body cavity. Right? So this is regarding your coelom. That was the next characters which we have to learn. Then metamerism. What is metamerism? In some organism, I can find the body can be divided into similar parts, like different segments it can be divided into. Okay, so in case if I can divide the body into similar parts, okay, much amount of similar parts, correctly they are arranged in parts, then we call those parts as metameres, segments or metameres. So organisms which are showing metamerism are metameristic in nature. And when you are seeing in vertebrates, that is those who are having the backbone, the vertebrates, outside you cannot find any symmetry, means any particular arrangement of segments will not be there, but inside maybe there is some segmental arrangement. So metamerism, in some animals the body is formed of similar parts or segments. So like this, if you are seeing this organisms, annelids and all, they are having what? Different segments. You can find one segment, like millipede, centipede and all, they will be having segments. Okay, so these segments are called as what? Metamerism, right? The next one is what? Notochord. What is notochord? So in embryonic stage means, you know, when the zygote is developing, if the zygote in its development is having a rod like formation, okay, a rod like structure is formed in the embryonic stage of the animal, which is acting as a supporting system. So the presence of that rod like structure we call it as what? Notochord. This notochord is only later going to turn into what? It is going to turn into our backbone. Okay, so the one who is having the notochord are called as what? They are chordates, and those who do not have that notochord are called as non-chordates. Means this notochord is the embryonic stage, and this notochord is later going to turn into what? They are going to turn as backbone. The one who is having, we call it as chordates, and the one who is not having, we call it as non-chordates. Means the one who has the backbone, we call it as chordates, and the one who doesn't have, we call it as non-chordates. So notochord is present, chordates. Notochord is absent, non-chordates. Now classification of animals can be divided into non-chordates and chordata. So they can be divided into non-chordata, those who do not have notochord; chordata, those who have notochord. Non-chordates, different phylum when you are seeing kingdom means under the different phylums, which are Porifera, Cnidaria. Porifera, example sponges; Cnidaria, jellyfishes; Ctenophora, comb jellies; Platyhelminthes, flatworms; Aschelminthes, roundworms; Annelida, ringed worms; Arthropoda, your insects; molluscus, okay, soft bodied animals; Echinodermata, like starfish; Hemichordata. So these are all coming under non-chordata, means they do not have a notochord. And thereafter you can find chordata is divided into what? 3: Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Okay, so the chordates are divided into 3 parts. So this is non-chordates, I told you, they are divided into these many parts, and the chordates are divided into 3 parts, right? Now kingdom Animalia, levels of organization I told you: cellular level, tissue level, organ system level. Germ layer can be diploplastic or triploplastic, isn't it? Symmetry can be asymmetrical, radial or bilateral. Coelom, those who are not having acoelomate, those who are having false coelom, pseudocoelomate, those who are having coelom, we call it as what? Coelomate. So Porifera, when you are seeing, they are acoelomate, asymmetrical, diploplastic, cellular level of organization. Cnidaria, Ctenophora are acoelomate, radial, diploplastic, tissue level of organization. Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, when you are seeing Platyhelminthes, acoelomate, bilateral, triploplastic, organ system level of organization. Aschelminthes, pseudocoelomate, bilateral, triploplastic, organ system level of organization. Then Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata, they are coelomates having bilateral symmetry, triploplastic in nature and organ system of organization. So if you don't know to write in detail what we are going to discuss next, at least if you are writing these points also, it will be enough. Like Porifera, write the characteristics, means you can write it down. It is an acoelomate organism, they do not contain a body cavity filled with coelom, they are asymmetrical in nature, they are having only 2 derm layers called as diploplastic. One is ectoderm and another one is endoderm, and they are made up of only cells. So that's why they are having cellular level of organization. If you are writing, that is also enough. Okay. So with this I am stopping for today. Next class we will start with the first phylum, that is Porifera under non-chordates. Okay. Hope you have understood what I have taught today. Take care. Bye.